Yo, peace and
in the evening time.
yeah, man. Welcome to RockTrue Beatz, and I am your host, Chris Lyon, also known as Marley King. And we thank you so much for joining us as we rock truth or absolutely nothing at all. You overstand? RockTrue Beatz is a cross-cultural response to the lack of choice in music today. RockTrue Beatz is designed to provide a sound message from theory to lab to life, while encouraging the necessity to return back to origin by way of relative keys, his kingdom principles. RockTrue Beatz seeks to inspire, enlighten, and highlight upcoming and established local and international kings and queens, musical artists of character, while promoting kingdom consciousness and awareness of who we are and to whom we belong. You overstand, love, respect. Hey, man, grand ease in my brethren and everybody near and far, home and abroad that's tuning in, man. It's a wonderful October the 5th. Nice Tuesday evening here in the Midwest, man. It's a real nice vibe as we start to get into the fall months, you know. Spoke on this last week, but we got to say this again, man. It's a wonderful time, a transition time in the year. You understand? We just passed up the fall equinox, which fell on September the 22nd. Now we're in that transition to more hours of darkness. You understand? More hours of less light. You know, we start to see that transition. All the leaves changing colors right now, things falling off, man. Plants and animals preparing themselves to get ready for these winter months. You see, like I say before, we a special breed up here in the Midwest, man. They say we hard to beat because skin tough like iron. You understand? It's something serious here in the Midwest, man. But enough love and respect to all my people worldwide, man. Real talk, man. Love is the healing of the nation. Always remember that. You understand? Got to be. Yeah, man. So just like to say, man, glad to be back, man. It's been a fruitful past couple of weeks. Sure, the past weekend was a very fruitful one indeed. You see, we got many of these beautiful specimens right here. If y'all don't know already, this is what we call the pawpaw fruit, also known as Asamina triloba. The triloba referring to the three leaves or the clusters of threes that they tend to grow on when they up in their trees. Don't steal my rhymes, you feel me? Serious piece of work. But yeah, man, beautiful pawpaw fruit. I led a group of about maybe 10 people out. We went out to the wonderful Salt Creek and hiked down into the valley, man, and really got back in tune with Mother Nature right there. Everybody was there for their own particular purpose, and we had many obstacles to conquer while we was out there, man. You understand? Getting that new sense or retuning ourselves back with Mother Nature, as well as going down in there on some rugged terrain, some wonderful thorn bushes down there, lots of wild medicines growing around. But we also had to cross a log, and it was a revelation for everybody. It was one of those the biggest obstacle to cross in life, and the moral of it was is if you cross the log, you've accomplished one big obstacle in life, and you got many other things to conquer in life as well, man. But we crossed that log, and it was such a beautiful thing. We had a brethren out there. We call him the Mushroom Man. He had this little youth with him, about 2 years old, you know, sitting in the pack on the back, and he was crossing the log and hiking out there, man, and doing some serious work, man. I got to give shout out to the Shroom family. You understand? My brethren Reed and Nicole. Absolutely, man. Enough respect. And my little niece was out there, 5 years old, climbing trees, crossed the log herself. You know what I'm saying? Like these are some serious life lessons that we encounter when we go out there in Mother Nature. You know, I see us a lot of us these days being out of tune, if you understand what I mean. You know, I know everybody uses that term a lot, but to understand what I mean by this. And what I'm saying by this is that technology has brought us to a point in time where we've been taken out of tune or out of sync with Mother Nature and the way that we're supposed to harmonize with this particular planet that we call so-called Mother Earth. You understand? We're supposed to harmonize. We're supposed to live in symbiosis, have a symbiotic relationship together, meaning that we benefit one another just because we live here together. We need to take care of the Mother Earth. You understand? Or as the Potawatomi tribe call Grandmother Earth or Kokomeshkina. Kokomeshkina. You understand? Grandmother Earth. something serious. We went down in there, man, harvested up a heap of medicine, heap of fruits, had a very spiritual feeling. But going down in there, you just really feel that vibration come off, and being away from technology. And, granted, we had our phones and other cameras and things of that nature out there. Relatively, we didn't use any of it. We was out there soaking in the vibration, just the peacefulness, away from all the traffic and the pureness of the air, away from all the wicked smoke and emissions in the air and such, being out there listening to the birds and listening to the whispers of the wind. And as the wind blew through the trees, you just feel and feel that real divine connection with spirit. It's something deep, man. Revelations in Mother Nature is something powerful, man. And it was a great experience for myself and everybody who went. I think we had the right people that went with us too, man. Everybody who was there, give thanks for coming out. Y'all was the right people for that kind of a trip, man. Real talk. I don't know many other people that could take y'all place, but that's love and respect, man. Serious vibration. So yeah, nonetheless, we did that on Saturday, man, and had a nice relaxing day Sunday. This past Saturday, I was out in another place called Burr Oak Woods looking for some mushrooms. We out there searching for chicken of the woods right now. It's a big, beautiful orange yellow color mushroom. Grows in layers in a sense, but it's very easy to spot. Always grows on oak trees, and this thing is very good for inflammation, especially over the course of time. Consuming it into your body and the body recognizing it, it works as a real powerful anti-inflammatory agent for the body and antifungal. As oxymoronic as that may sound, how is a fungus going to be antifungal? But nonetheless, man, that's what they do. And a nice antibacterial agent too. So she a real good piece for the body, man. Mother Nature has many fruits to provide for us. Hence Genesis 1:29 and 30. If y'all ain't in tune, y'all better get in tune, man. You overstand? Talk about a lot of serious peace right there. The things that should be our food that bear seed. Food in our medicine. You understand? Y'all need to check it out. Genesis 1:29 and 30. It happens to be something very powerful that people aren't really exposed to. And I think if we were exposed to more teachings like that, especially with Catholicism or Christianity being having such a powerful grasp on the world today, to understand the book, to understand the different verses from the book or these different books, to understand these verses that are not being taught or put out there, let's question that. There's a reason behind all of that. If we read deeper into the books, like into Leviticus, or read into we read into the books of like Deuteronomy, and what else? We got the Book of Herbs. All these things that was taken out during the time of the Council of Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea, man, y'all should get out there and do some research on them, man. It's King James and his cronies. The ones who really started to curve the direction of where Christianity was going to take the world. You understand? Something deep and something serious. So everybody should look into the Council of Nicaea as well. Nicaea is Nicia, Nicaea. You understand? The Council of Nicaea. Y'all need to check it out. Get in tune. Nonetheless, man, been a very fruitful week and very eventful one myself, man. A lot of great things going for me and for the people around me. Living very modest out there. Making music and such. Taking a serious vibration and putting it out there into the universe. And that's where we need to use our creativity or our Nia, our purpose. One of the 7 principles of the Grand Nguzo Saba. You understand? Something serious. But we need to go ahead and use that creativity and purpose and go ahead and put a serious vibration out there in the world, because we're in a serious war right now. Whether or not you see it or realize it, man, it's a war of sounds. See what I'm saying? And one of the things we're going to discuss today is word, sound, power. And before we get into that, let me take a sip of my wonderful Yellow Doc right here. Old Rumex Prispus right here. Serious brew right there. Look at that. Root tonic for the body, man. Nice bitter. But for me, it's no longer bitter. You understand? I done reshaped my palate. If I could do it, anybody could do it, because we all been indoctrinated on the sugars and the salts, and to get far away from the bitters. Bitters are very important for balance in the body. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to get some more bitters in your life, something serious. But we're going to dive into word, sound, power today, man. And one thing I want to cover is the this happens to do with the origins of English, the English language. You understand? The English language is a fairly new language compared to all of the other languages that have been known for centuries. English language is a very new one. So let's talk about this. Let's give some more clarity and shed some more light on who the Cabal is and how they've encoded the English language. Now, the Cabal, if you're wondering what that is, it's a group of sinister individuals, man, that call the shots, man, that really direct what we see through the media and what's put out there for us to feed off of, in a sense. Okay, so let's talk about this and how they've encoded the English language. We'll begin with the fact that the oldest known record of the English language traces back to the monk. All right, so his name is Monk Bertfirth. Yeah, Monk Bertfirth of Ramsey Abbey in England, and the year 1011. Okay, so this is pretty ancient times right here. What are we in, 2020 right now? This was almost, oh my goodness, man, 9,000 years ago. That's a long time, brethren. Long time. His alphabet looked a bit different than the one we're familiar with today. It was as follows: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V, X, Y, Z, and then it looked like we have some Jewish letters or some type of it actually looked like some Jewish or some Arabic letters, man. So something deep. See what I'm saying? So we got a very long list of alphabets like this, and they tend to change throughout the course of time. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper. You'll notice that J, U, and W of the modern English alphabet are missing, and we no longer use the glyphs at the end. See what I'm saying? Thus, the letters of Bertfirth's alphabet were borrowed from Latin, the language of ancient Rome, and the civilization that the Catholic Church originates from. In light of this fact, consider that the letters of Latin are used for words as well as numbers through the practice of Roman numerals. In other words, English has Roman Catholic origins and is based in a language that has alphanumeric qualities, meaning that it has qualities of containing numbers and letters. With that in mind, consider that English was being standardized with the 26-letter alphabet and agreed to spellings we use today at the end of the 16th century. So at the end of the 16th century, we started to see this change, and that was, roughly 4,000 or 5,000 years later, man. And this started to change up. And remind you, there was a lot of things going on during this point in time, man. With that in mind, consider that English was being standardized with the 26-letter alphabet and agreed to the spellings we use today at the end of the 16th century, the same time the Gregorian calendar was making its debut in October of 1582. Okay, so there we go, in the 1500s. And if you don't know, the Gregorian calendar was installed by Pope Gregory. Okay, this took us into a whole new world of time, and that's why it's so deep, man. When you start diving into numbers and start to understand the importance of numbers, you see, numbers are not only connected to letters in modern day, but this is an ancient practice. This has been since the beginning of time. These alphanumeric languages, or systems. Okay, and this calendar was given to us by the Catholic Church, and more specifically Pope Gregory the Eighth. As we have briefly touched on thus far, and as we will come to better understand with more examples, the English language and the Gregorian calendar are perfectly in tune with one another. If you are new to this work, this is something I've been proving. Well, he just gives a little insight of what he's talking about, because he done brought some light to the numbers and the connection to a lot of worldly things going on, a lot of worldly events. Okay, to build our understanding of how gematria, the practice of coding letters into numbers and dates, comes together, let's examine the 3 independent cities that exist within larger nations that are locations from where the Cabal rules. As you might guess, they all have connections to Rome. They are Vatican City in Italy, a spiritual center established February 11th, 1929. Washington, D.C., what was formerly part of the Catholic colony, which is the reason it sits in between Virginia and Maryland. Think the Virgin Mary. You understand? This is deep, man. This is deep. And is now a military center that is named after the Masonic war general. Okay, serious piece, man. Where the cornerstone for its development was laid September 18th, 1793, before becoming an independent territory on February 21st, 1871. And the city of London, which would be the third one, which sits within London, the most powerful banking center in the world, originally built within the fortified walls that were erected by the Romans, who once used it as a trading post. It should also be noticed that the city of London is where modern Freemasonry was established, June 24th, 1717, not long after becoming an independent territory, July 27th, 1694. All right, nonetheless, man, I mean, we could dive deep. I could read out of this book all day, man, because there's so much knowledge to behold in this one as well, man. This one's called Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus, and this is by a wonderful brethren named Zachary K. Hubbard. See what I'm saying? This man has been out there putting some serious work, man, since I want to say like 2000 2014, 2015 is when I came upon him, during my travels. And he had a lot of serious work to share and a lot of connections and correlations to be made. And the numerology was something that really connected a lot of dots for me, because I knew a lot and I felt a lot. And my senses were open to a lot. This was a serious connecting factor. So if y'all get a chance, dive into a little bit of that, man. I feel like anybody who practices Christianity or Catholicism needs to understand numerology as well, because there's a big correlation and connection within that. Remind you, these particular books have been translated into English, through the hands of many other peoples. Okay. Now, with that being said, we have to also keep in mind that these are based out of alphanumeric languages or systems. You know what I'm saying? There's always an ancient correlation to everything we're dealing with today. And it's important to understand that, because when we understand the way that numbers are correlated with letters and connected with letters, then we can understand why we have certain deaths occurring within the music industry and why people can say certain words and get away with it. And there's so many connections like such, man. I mean, think of the word for. There's a couple of different ways that we spell it. It used to be spelled F-O-R-E. Okay. And why do we spell it F-O-U-R? Why did that change? There's a correlation within the numerology between that. We could dive deep on that, but we're gonna keep it plain and simple. I like to always leave y'all with some research to do, with some fat on your head, so you can take something away from here and utilize it, man. And we can become a grander person than we are today. Knowledge is power, especially in this day and age. They always try to turn things against us because of all the confusion going on out here. A lot of information is put out there, so you're confused. You don't know which information to take, what is real and what's not. This is the grand deception, and they say in the good book, man, in the basic instruction before leaving earth, and he shall deceive the whole world. The grand serpent shall deceive the whole world. So y'all better watch out, man. Everybody better stay on their toes, man, because it gets serious out there in this world, man. This world isn't just full of entertainment, man. The entertainment is what rules a lot of people's minds, in a sense, Who really thinks for themselves anymore? Yeah, maybe some of the folks listening can say, oh, well, I think for myself. I'm in control of my thoughts. Okay, but we ain't talking about us. We're talking about the rest of the people out there. We see many other people who don't have the advantage that we do. We got the open eye, what some people may say, the third eye open. We see it, from many levels. So we understand what the difference between good and evil. Just like they say, Genesis 3:22, they talk about, how we need, how now that we have been given like the power to discern good from evil. You know what I'm saying? Y'all check that up. Genesis 3:22. See what I'm saying? Look, man, I'm not a Christian when it comes down to practicing religion and such, man. But the book has a lot of great things to say, man, and it's a great guideway for many peoples, man. Very factual story, man, and you can pick out many allegories from it, man, many analogies, ways to relate things to our lives, man. Whereas many of these teachings are like that, I had a shirt on recently. It said, God, Jah, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, we all are one. We understand we all come from a God comes from a concept of God comes from a God comes from a concept of a higher power, an omnipresent force. You understand? Or it could be many forces. Some people say it's many forces. Who is it, man? Let me try to remember off the top of my head, because I think it was Abraham. There's 3 Abrahamic religions in the world. That's Judaism, Christianity, and then we also have Islam. Okay, you see, and they're all based out of the Torah. All of these are based out of the Torah. That's where it all starts for all of these books. They all start out of the Torah. Then they branch into to the other teachings. But Abraham was the one that told everybody, hey, man, there's not many gods. There's one God. So keep that in mind. And before that, there was even mentions of what we call what the heck is his name, man? It starts with an E. Off the top of my head, man, I can't pull it out. Man, you got to forgive me, man. Little brain lag on that one. But nonetheless, Elohim, that's what they call him. Elohim. It was the book of Elohim. They talk about there being a second God and the next one and such. So there's many things we got to keep an open mind to, and to see, what the teachings reveal through our life. Life is a constant lesson. Every day we live is a new lesson learned or taught. And there's so much knowledge to gain. There's so much knowledge to soak in. Think about all the discoveries that are being made to verify a lot of these sacred texts. These are things to keep in mind. There's so many things coming out, man. Revelation's playing out before our eyes, and it's a deep piece of work. But let's jump back into the music word style power thing. We see why is it that And I know I'm probably going to cause a controversy when I say this, but let's have the argument. You know, why is it that people, you know, glorify Tupac and Notorious B.I.G.? You know, we're going to use those because they're the two mainstream ones that everybody knows about. You know, everybody glorifies these cats, man. Let's look at Tupac, man. He was the epitome of what you call a Gemini, man. Two sides. You know, one minute he's talking about, you know, thug life, ghetto this, you know, do this, do that, and the next moment, you know, he's talking about, you know, save the women, you know, respect your mother, making all these beautiful songs that hit people's souls. But why is he playing both sides of the card right there, man? You understand? Why is it that everybody glorifies Notorious B.I.G.? You know, I mean, listen to a lot of his lyrics. They disrespecting woman. You know, putting old Empress on the pedestal, saying that she this and she that, talking about killing brethren. You know, it's the type of stuff because we were told and taught to. Yeah, man, you understand. That goes for a lot of things in life, man. It's part of a system of indoctrination. And there's nothing wrong with that, man, because a lot of us have been indoctrinated into a system. And I think it's important that we learn to break free from that, to open ourselves up, you know, to receive. You know, that's where we are vessels of light, man. You know, let's be able to soak in all of this, man. Soak in every piece of knowledge you can from everybody, from all culture, and then create your own understanding out of it. You know, it may be different than mine, but that's all right. That's the beauty of life, man. We all have the we all have the option of choice, man. You know, make your choice, man. Whatever you would love your destiny to be, man. Make your choice. But we got folks glorifying, you know, all these artists like that, especially the older ones back in the '90s and such, man. And I find it appalling, you know, that we do that stuff, or we used to do that stuff. And how can we continually support and glorify these particular artists and put them up on such a pedestal if they're the ones making the wickedness? You understand what I'm saying? They're the ones putting out that word, sound, power, vibration. You know, Rastafari, we teach that all the time. Word, sound, power. Be careful of the words you speak, man, because they will become your actions or somebody else's actions. You know what I'm saying? Word, sound, power. There's something deep like that, man. We see this a reflection with many folks nowadays. Everywhere we go, you know, you put on a particular music, you're gonna see the the looks on people's faces, the way the vibration changed. Think about this: if you take, you know, you know, some wicked music, man, and you go play it for your grandmother or something, you know, some grandmothers may be bouncing to that stuff today, but yeah, absolutely, they will be bouncing to that stuff today, man. I see quite a few doing that, man. You know, it's a wicked thing, but you take that and you put it around somebody's grandmother, you know, they're gonna be like, "What the heck you playing? Turn that mess off," because they understand that vibration is wicked, man. You know, it's something deep, man. It's something deep that resonates within a lot of us. You know, and it's deeper than the eye could see. When we think about it, we think about semantics and the way that words can be expressed into shapes, into sacred geometrical shapes in a sense. Things like cubes and spheres and um, dodecahedrons and tetrahedrons and things of that nature, man. We get all these beautiful patterns. And I mean, there's so many dimensions to sound as well. We all have to be conscious of this, man. We're going to dive a little bit deeper here, but just want to make the statement. We have to all be conscious to this stuff, man, because it's all plays a part into the music we make, or even the words that we speak to each other, you know? I mean, I know that we all out here, a lot of us talk like sailors, man. We all cursing and stuff like that, but it's important to be mindful of it as well, man, because these words are created for a reason. Each one of these words holds a vibration, you know, through through the way of the numerological encoding of the letter. Know what I'm saying? When when we start to dive deep into numerology and the correlation with that, and to understand that it's a vibration, we could feel the vibration occurring right here, and that's flowing out into the universe. We could start to see that the way this starts to affect things around us, man. I mean, think of the words that are said out there. Just it could be even words that they put in news articles that got quotes on them, you know? These words hold a particular power, and that's something that catches the eye. It's already known by the illustrator, the one who's putting that out there to you. They already know that it's going to catch your eye and to hit your subconscious with a letter or a number. Only the powerful ones, you know, the people that have the hermetic understandings are going to be able to peep that out. You know, just like me throwing up a peace sign to you, it may mean, "Hey, what's up?" But to somebody else, that means, you know, "Hey, go commit the execution," or so, you know? Wicked stuff like that out there, man. We have to look deeper. We have to. There's no way around it. We have to keep that open mind and continue to soak all this knowledge in. Because you could see it going on around it. You just need a better understanding of it. Sometimes we don't always have the words for things. Sometimes we need somebody else to bring the message to us, to be the messenger. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, but it's a serious piece of work out there, and we all got to do better. So the topic of discussion today is going to dive into what we call damage control. You understand? So we already understand where we're at. We know that we got all this wicked word sound power out there, the music being blasted out through the airwaves, and it's got people under a spell, hypnotized. So what can we do as far as damage control? If we know the damage has been done, what can we do to go ahead and amend the situation or make the situation better. You know? So as artists, man, we gotta think about this, man. I hear a lot of people just talking about nothing but wicked stuff. Everybody is not I mean, you could call it creativity, but it's not creativity, man. I mean, anybody can make a word rhyme. You write it on paper and make the word rhyme. Anybody could say some wicked stuff. It's too natural for anybody not to be able to say it. You could say that, but it doesn't sound good to the people, man. So what do we have to do? We have to start looking at the beats, man. We have to start looking at the instrumentals. What kind of sounds are these cats using in the instrumentals these days? Do we hear that real fast hi-hat, at 164 taps per second, man? That's something serious. When we look at that, we can start to take those particular sounds out. And when we take those particular sounds out, we utilize those into our sounds. We make some beautiful sounds, but we hit these particular sounds in there so they capture the listener's ear. When it captures their ear like that, it becomes something that reverberates within them, and that could in turn shake up the vibration, man. This is a theory of mine, and it's something that I'm looking to try out here over the course of the wintertime as I seriously start getting off of the farming and head back into the studio. Wintertime is time for media. Everybody needs to take time for something like that in the wintertime. Time to wind down, do something productive like that. Get creative with it. Wintertime is when all your creativity should come out. So we're gonna start making some beats like that, man, and be conscious of the music that we're putting out as well, man. If we creating a song, we're gonna create something, with more love vibration to it, man. Think about reggae music, man. Why was reggae music oppressed for a certain period of time, man? Why do you think Bob Marley was taken up off of the planet? Bringing a revolutionary sound, a sound that spread the message of love, that took it worldwide, to the far reaches of the east, all the way out here to the far reaches of the of the western, the United States, man, the West, as they say. You know, that music started hitting people so hard and started to stir up a revolution. Like Bob Marley says, "Steer it up, live on and steer it up." See, people got to understand the message, man. He wasn't just talking about stirring a pot of some fufu, man, or stirring a pot of some soup. He's talking about stirring it up, stir up that vibration, man, and in turn you're gonna stir up the world. Yeah, man, it's that natural mystic flowing through the air. It's something deep. And for me, so check this out. I'll give you my personal revelation of it, man. So check it out. I went on stage. We was up at Vibrations Juice Bar last Friday, man, for First Friday. And we had a nice reggae band out there, Indica. Used to be something serious, man, but they've since watered reggae music down, and there's a reason that they don't play the roots and culture no more. That's what the people want to hear, the roots and culture. So all you reggae bands out there, y'all need to go ahead and make sure you start to continue to play the roots and culture, man. Don't steer away from it. Don't become a band that play boat music. Roots and culture, man. That's the foundation of reggae right there. So nonetheless, they's out there performing in the evening time. It's a beautiful thing. So I jumped up there with them one time, man, and I jumped on and spit a couple of heck of some verses, man. Two nice verses for the man, and it's a really good, really nice sized crowd out there, man. Everybody vibing and moving hard off the lyric. I picked up the tempo, man, took it loud, and everybody started riding the spirit, riding the wave, just as they was riding the wave when the reggae music was playing. I had them captivated, But it goes to show you, man, what you can do, when it comes to word, sound, power. You move the people. Yeah, man. You move the people that way. It becomes something serious to be able to touch somebody with the power of music. It's a vibration coming out. It shake them up. It steer them up. It's the same. It's the same thing that goes for any of these mainstream artists. The music that you're hearing on the radio, they putting this out here on the national airwave. To mess with the minds of the people. They know what they're doing. We don't have to just think that it's just us who peeping game, man. They know what they're doing. We thinking of this now, but they've thought of this well in advance. A lot of things are planned accordingly. Anything good is planned in accordance. To see where the state of the world is going right now, it happens to be from a lot of intricate and detailed planning, man. Something that's been going on for I'm willing to say centuries, according to the research that I've done. Centuries this stuff has been going on. Music has been. I mean, let's think back in the time of the when the Gregorian chants first came around. The Gregorian chants was taken by a frequency that the monks were using. There was some Byzantine monks. Were in deep You think of the Byzantine monks, man? They were in a deep meditation, man. Very holy, very spiritual cats. And they came up with this hymn, and it was something that was so divine and so powerful. They started to know that it could do, um, I guess, for lack of a better word, they could do powerful things. They could manipulate things. They could start to change things around us. And when the people started to find out about that, it started to become too powerful. See, when we as individuals become too powerful, it's never good for the cabal. Like so. If we become too powerful, then we become a revolution. Everybody starts to think like that. It gets them out of that sleep that we're in. So we have to keep in mind about that. That particular Gregorian chant was stolen from the monks and implemented into what we know as the Gregorian chants, or the chants that we hear in the Catholic Church nowadays. Beautiful sounds. But when a tool is in the hand of the wrong person, what happens? They use it for wicked. They use it for wicked, and that's why we see the world in the state that it is. The tools have got into the hands of the wrong people. And we need to make sure that we utilize these tools in order to fight back. Everybody says we can go march, we can go do this, we can go do that, we can protest. But how far is that ever going to get you? That's just putting a voice out there. And that's beautiful. Put your voice out there. But know that the mission is deeper than that, man. We have to start fighting this war from creative perspectives. Go out there and create something. And when I say create, that doesn't just mean making music or drawing a picture. That means create something like a solar panel that powers an entire neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? Things like that. We can get our youth out there to be more innovative. Use that innovation, so that we can create and combat. Because this is what's really going to win the battle. Know what I'm saying? It's something for us to meditate on, man. You need to go out there and create. Yeah, man, you understand. We teach you, man. I'm a one man army this evening time, man. So I'm on one breath, And me myself, I tend to just do everything in one breath. So I got to breathe. So, if you ever see me taking a quick pause like that, know that it's beneficial for myself, man. Because I'm a man that when I start to speak, I just keep on flowing, man. Because I gotta put that truth out there, Gotta give some people some food for thought. We have to philosophize. We have to be philosophers when it comes to this. If we can continue to create music that's going to infiltrate the airwaves, we don't even have to be on the radio, but just to put the music out there and start to reach people like a domino effect. It shall reach one person and then reach many, many more. I think it's very important that we make note of that. Damage control is very important when it comes to the wicked games that's being played out there. We just have to make sure that we become the wise ones. You know what I'm saying? The teachers, the poor righteous teachers, as myself. We want to jump into something a little bit deeper, man. It's a little bit off topic, but still in the same piece. See what I'm saying here? Everybody should have a piece like this, man. The Herb Encyclopedia. It's a very deep book, man. It shows you a lot of deep medicinals and wild edibles around you that you may come across. This one lacks the pictures, but very thorough and extensive in the knowledge that it gives out. We got the next one right here. This one's called Peterson's Field Guide to I believe it's the Eastern United States, Eastern and Central North America. It's the field guide to medicinal plants and herbs. But this one's got some beautiful pictures in here, man. And you know what I'm saying? It likes to do things by color, so it separates. Everything is organized depending on the color of the flower. It gives you a lot of detail in there, and those things are very good to take with us, as we continue to try through our life, just to have knowledge that these particular foods and medicines are all around us. Give us a sense of food security. You know what I'm saying? For generations to come. We're getting into perilous times. We all have to make sure that we can fend for ourselves a little more, become more self-sufficient. You get in tune with that spirit, man. Ride that spirit hard. If that spirit tells you to build a fire, man, build a fire. If he says build shelter. You know what I'm saying? We all have to be prepared for things like this, and to get back in tune with Mother Nature like that, it becomes something heavy. So we have to go. Yeah, man, you understand? Yeah, so we have to make sure we go ahead and gather essential items like this, man. I always like to have those books on hand, whether or not I use them today or I don't use them until next month. You know, it doesn't matter. Just to have it on hand is a very good thing. You know, and also a water filtration system. You see, these are things when I'm talking about damage control, these are all things that feed into it, man. You know, if people can overstand survival and get back in tune with Mother Nature, it will take them out of tune with the Matrix or this particular thing we wrapped up in right now. It's a wicked piece of work, you know? We always have to be mindful of it, man. Use the creativity. Let's create some things like this. If we can create things like this, then we can go ahead and that see this is how a community is built. This is how community should be run. You know, there should be somebody that make bread. There should be somebody that go out and do the wild foraging for the for the food. There should be somebody that's chopping wood, man. There should be somebody that carries on the teachings, the knowledge, man. I mean, there's so many different roles that people can play in a community, and that's what we lack nowadays, man. Is the common unity. People are so all over the place, and there's so many outside influences on us that are we really doing what we love to do, or are we really loving what we want to love, or is this all part of somebody else's trick, man? You know, we always talk about music and the power of it. You know, could we live without music? I mean, just think if somebody, if you didn't have music from here on out, could you really live with it, man? Some people could. I know I could, but some people couldn't, man. I see people that every day, man, that can't go without having a headphone in their ear, man, or even just a piece of technology, that cell phone. Like I say, something that got a lot of folk distracted. And yeah, we utilize these things for particular reasons because we have to in this day and age. But we also have to make sure that we get ourselves out of tune and know how to function without them. You know, we can't function without essentials or necessities like water and food at times. But we have to be able to function without technologies, man. What happened to the time of atlases? You know, I was just traveling earlier today and I'm using my cell phone as a GPS. I'm thinking to myself, why don't I have a map in my car? You know where I'm going. Why am I got this punched into the GPS? You see what I'm saying? Things like this that we notice with ourselves on a daily basis. If we can catch ourselves, this is all part of the damage control as well, man. You know, yeah, it's good to have technology. You know, always good to have it because there's many benefits of it. But let's get back to the ancient way of things in the sense as well. To always have that foreknowledge of how things were before will help you out in the end here. You know, in perilous times. You know, what happens when the light goes out, man? I see one time the light went out at my mother's crib, and everybody kind of panicked. You know, there was no television. They didn't know how to make light. I said, I'm fine with this. You know, I'll go outside and I'll crack some sticks, make a fire. You see, it's something serious, and we all have to be mindful of that. And well, you know, the world is heading into like I said, there's a transition. We're in the age of the Aquarius right now. You know, so it's nothing for us to be scared of. A lot of fear, propaganda and mongering going on out there. You know, and there's nothing to be scared of. You know, walk in the light of Jah, man, and you shall overcome. You know, we ain't we the wise ones. We're not being led into temptation like so, man. We're out there doing the righteous work. I'm out here doing Jah work. You understand? And making Jah music. You know what I'm saying? Putting out a serious vibration. You know, do something that's going to be beneficial, not for yourself. Let's get away from the I man concept. You know, when we're stuck in the concept of the I man, meaning that we only do for I, then what happens to the rest of us, man? You can only do so much, but we can kick your butt. You understand? It's something serious, man. We always have to understand little teachings like these, man, because they always come to mind when we have to do our checks and balances. When we have to make decisions in the daily life. You know, I'm no perfect in the next man, but these teachings that I put out there are the teachings that I learned from as well. I learned from myself speaking, you know, no perfect in the next man out there, but I always learn from my teachings. And it's important that we always do the same. A lot of the teachings, they come through Mother Nature, through revelations, man, you know, being outside, being an observer, being quiet. You know, a lot of people want to talk. Sometimes we got to be quiet and listen and observe around us to understand what's going on. Because not always is what the eye sees. They say, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. No, that's a deep saying as well, man. A lot of manipulation, distortion out there. No, let's get out there and create, man. It's gonna be something that I continue to hit on, man. We need to be creative, man. We need to create platform. We need to create tools and instruments and music and different forms of art in order to captivate the people, man. It's not gonna we're not gonna capture everybody. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna capture everybody with it. There's some people that's so far gone. Think about maybe the wicked man that lives on your block, man, who's serving up all the dope, man, and killing folk and this, that, and the other. Some folk like that, we're not gonna be able to save, man. But trust me, there are ones that's reaching out there and who are worthy of it, you know. And when we bring those people aboard, you know, let's make sure that everybody has a purpose, you know. Nia, everybody got to have purpose, man. Play your part, because that's what makes the wheel go round. Think about how a wheel goes round. There has to be certain gears to do certain things in the steps. The pedals can't reach the tires to make a move, so it's gotta have the chain. It's something serious, man. These are simple analogies that we all can take. It happens to become something deep. Yeah, man. We'll give thanks for verification, because sometimes I feel like I be in a ramble. And especially coming on, man, and just kind of looking at myself on the screen, man. I'm looking at the reflection of myself through the camera. And it's almost like a battle. I already already go head up against myself. Always trying to outdo the man on the next side of the screen. Yeah, man. Give thanks. Give thanks. That's enough respect. Yeah, man, but always, man, little look, I'm telling you, man, we teach ourselves so many things about ourselves, and to humble ourselves and show humility. Look, man, if we out here making wicked music, and we out here, maybe we're the ones right now who are the epitome of what I'm talking about. The ones that are doing all the wicked stuff, or not conscious of what they're creating, or just creating just to create. Maybe you are one of those people. But if that's the case, man, that's all right. We all have to start somewhere, and we all have to start to regain that consciousness, man, and really hone into our creativity, man. There's so many paths that could be taken, man, but you take that righteous path, it's not going to be the easiest one either, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give you a point in case in my example. Look at myself, man. I joined up with a group of individuals, two individuals, a couple years ago, about 4 years ago now, and we came up with a business concept. It's a very righteous one, and it was pure at heart, because this is something that we was already practicing before we came up with the business concept. But nonetheless, we came up with the business concept, and we had to overstand. It'd be nice to take grants, but if you take grants from somebody, that means you're underneath somebody. Now somebody has to controls where your funds go, or they want this, or they want that, or it has to be done this way or that way. You see, to work for yourself, or to do for yourself, as Marcus Garvey say, do for yourself, means to finance it for yourself. If you ever want to do for yourself and do what's righteous, you have to finance it yourself, or find individuals that will finance it with you. And when I say you have to finance it yourself, that doesn't necessarily mean just you, but it could be your collective. It could be the people that come along with you. And it's very important, man, because the more people we get to come together, the less it hurts our pockets, and we can all pitch in and build up something great. So with our venture, we all came together and we started building from the ground up, man. I'm working 2-3 jobs, hustling up funds over here, and we all doing the same thing, selling product, going working different events. And then we come out there and we start to put money toward the beds, to buy wood for the beds. Then we got my skills, my handyman skills, to come out there with the hammer and nail and the drill and put everything together. Then we go get soil. We use the brethren truck and go load up many times to bring soil out to the lot. All out of our pockets. Buying things that we need to, seeds, lights, not so much fertilizer, but like seed starting soil, things of that nature. All this stuff had to be funded from the ground up. And if you want to ever create anything good, invest into yourself, man, and invest in what you believe in is true, and make sure that it's righteous too, and make sure it's not an I man concept. Once again, I say we all get caught up in that quite a few times. That I man concept. We always want to do for I, and when somebody else speaks in and chimes in an idea that maybe maybe ain't best for the collective, it's always going head up against them, and I don't think that that's good, and I've learned that along the way. I've seen many people try to come aboard, and many people have to fade away, because they don't understand, how to become a listener. To go study under a teacher means you're gonna sit there and listen. You're not gonna, jump in and try to tell them what it is and what it's not. You're there to learn, so open yourself up, man, to the message. What I'm saying, if you want to do anything great for yourself or for this world or for humanity, you must finance it yourself, because the righteous doesn't get funded, man. The righteous does not get funded. When you're doing his work, you understand? When you're doing job work, they don't fund it like that. It's really hard for us to start up, but trust and believe. I go do something wicked, man. I put a video on the YouTube of somebody whooping this other guy, or these two women fighting, or somebody shooting, or gang bang, or whatever happens to be. Trust and believe, I get millions of views and I blow up overnight. Same with the music, man. I could sell out and I could say so many wicked things in the music. It's easy to do that. I could do everything that these cats is doing on the radio nowadays. Trust and believe, man. And many other people probably could as well. And we could all blow up off it. But are you willing to sell out like that? You willing to compromise the spirit? You willing to compromise yourself? I know that's something that I'm not willing to do, man. So I'm going to continue to be righteous with it. And I'm going to continue to fund the operation myself as long as it takes. You got to be a modest liver at that, No need for Jordans. No need for all these new Nike fits, man. And, track suits and cars and gold chains and expensive dinners, luxury nights out, and this, that, and the other. Ain't no need for that. Humble yourself, my brethren. Humble down. Be able to save up, man. Be able to stack your money accordingly. We don't want to be a slave to the money, but we have to utilize it accordingly, man. It's like we utilize our talents, our creativity, our music. Utilize it accordingly. I think it's very, very important that we all be mindful to that, man. And on the topic of that, man, I want to give y'all a quick sneak peek, man, of some serious word sound power, some serious vibration that I've been whipping up. And I'm gonna be recording this track fairly soon. We're in the process of changing around the studio right now to a larger recording space. So all here in due time, wintertime is gonna be serious vibrations. But check this out, man. I haven't really dropped the name on this one yet, but I got 3 verses to it. I'm gonna only give you one, and it's a real deep piece. And I call it Sound, man. We're gonna see where the name travels from there. But I'm calling it Sound for right now. Check me though. Circle, square, sphere, cube. Each individual note that get played on an instrument to make an instrumental. Put a sacred shape up inside your mental. Give a deeper meaning to music when the word sound power come and elevate. From a hook to the verse to the beat when they change the keys. A mathematical picture, sacred geometry. Seed to the flower of life, but not all sound. Putting out a beautiful pattern. Overstand. Hypnotizing with subliminal message. Man, it's so much more than the eye can see. The hypocrisy of many musical artists take a natural sound and make a wicked vibration. Concept of our man, broken foundation. I gotta run for the temple crumble in the twilight zone. I'm talking time before the sunrise and after the sunset. I see a hole in the fabric of space and time. Beautiful, but the epithet sound is something and it's ever present. Listen close until you reap a lesson. Tool in the hands of a wicked man is no good when his mind set on domination. You understand? Tool in the hands of a wicked man is no good when his mind set on domination. You understand what I'm saying, man? Many tools to life, man. Like many of these guideways that is put all these. Yeah, man, you understand now. Bars once again, man. We're dropping them. We ain't just dropping 16s. Look, man, when I'm talking about creativity, it ain't no need to just drop 16s, man. Let's get more creative than that. That's basic format. Let's drop some 24s. Let's drop some 32s, man. You see what I'm saying? And come with a nice creative bridge or creative piece. And in turn, we jump into a next wonderful vibration. Let's think about people like Parliament Funkadelic and George Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Bootsy Collins and the Rubber Band. These cats were funky with it. You know what I'm saying? They really had a serious vibe to go along with a style, or excuse me, a serious style to go along with the vibe of music that they was putting out. And it was very creative. Think about all the sounds. Think of the talk box that was used by Roger Zapp. Know what I'm saying? Excuse me, Zapp and Roger Troutman. Think of the talk box that was used for that. It changed the voice up like so, man. We need to get more creative like this because things like this is really gonna shake up the vibration, man. I mean, I would rather hear somebody doing a track over a talk box than I would listen to majority of the music today, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so dull to me now. Sounds good, yeah. Instruments, music sounds good, but it's so dull. A lot of people talking about the same thing. I always hear music on the radio, man, and it tripped me out. I be listening, and it always seems like they putting something on the radio. The song talking about a man cheating on a woman, or the woman being an infidel to the man, or a bad relationship, man, or shooting a brother, or I heard Anthony Hamilton put out a song the other day. I heard it's you made a fool of me, man. So it's about a woman just making a damn fool out of him, And yeah, we know these things go on in life, man, and these are some heartbreaks, man. But and I know we all need time to mourn in a sense, man, or time to go through a little emotional period, but let's be stronger than that, man. Let's put out some music that's gonna uplift you, Let's get out of those wicked things. Yeah, they're there, but as much as we highlight the negativity or the downsides of things, you know, that really explains the mindsets of insecurity that we all run with. We think about women who don't want to be with man, man don't want to be with woman because of heartbreak or this that and the other. But all that stuff has been taught in a sense through the music. This is why we always talk about for the past couple of weeks is music. Music is a powerful weapon, man. And it could be used in many ways. It's pretty methodical. Think about it. We all have music that we listen to when we're feeling down. We all have music that we listen to when we're feeling happy. For many different emotions, we got music. When we're feeling mad, when we want to get charged up, we all have different types of music for that. When we play these things, we feel that vibration in there, man. And sometimes those vibrations can be addicting, man. I don't heard some, like I said, I don't heard some George Clinton, man, and even some reggae tracks, some deep roots reggae, and that stuff. I, I'm addicted to that stuff. I'll keep it real with you. I cannot not listen to that kind of music right there. It invokes a spirit inside of me. But I ride that spirit in a sense, because it's a real good vibration. And something else I want to say too. I was having this thought the other day, and it comes along with it. You think about all these different groups or different peoples, different religious, how you want to say it? I guess with different religious groups. They all have different rituals that they perform. Think of someone like the Baptist. There's many different forms of Christianity, and there's some of these churches, man, that take a sound or a certain tempo of music, and they just bring it up there, man. And you see the people in the church, man, everybody just shaking, jumping out their seats, man. Some old lady falling out because he's riding the spirit so hard. Yo, listen, we laugh about that stuff, and we laugh about you know folks participating in things like this, or we call it wicked and stuff, but they're conjuring a vibration. They're conjuring, the spirit. What spirit that is? Hey man, that's for the individuals or individual that's partaking in the ritual, um, to discern or to identify. But we cannot deny that that spirit is not being conjured and that there's something there that could be utilized. And I always wonder, what if somebody from another culture or from another background like that went into a particular setting where they was performing one of those up for rituals or vibes, even if it's some wicked stuff. Are you able to take that particular energy from there, that energy that was conjured, and utilize that for good? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I will walk into a satanic ritual and come out with that spirit and be like, yeah, I'm gonna use this spirit, to combat these wicked cats on the radio or combat these wicked artists. Sounds plausible, but I don't know that I would fight fire with fire like that. Even though sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. But same time, walking into, one of those down south Baptist church, man, where they got the sawdust on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Them people, they start moving and they real deep with their spirituality I guess we'll call it spirituality when it comes to practicing that particular religion, and the way that they pick up that tempo and ride that spirit. Just imagine if you could dress the part and go up in there and ride the spirit with them and leave with that spirit. You're not coming there for the teachings because you already know the teachings, especially if you practice Christianity or Catholicism or anything's around that means. Maybe even one of the three Abrahamic religions. Know what I'm saying? Because we have Episcopals, we have Lutherans, we have Baptists, we have, so many. There's all these different sects, man, and it trips me out at times, because I see all these in Gary, especially. I see all these churches within a couple of blocks from each other, man. And it's like it's a competition. It's never no unity like that. Why are you competing to get the most people coming in your church? Why y'all can't just meet out in the wilderness somewhere, man, and hold a big church, and get in tune with the spirit like such, Instead, y'all have to promote the division like that. At least that's how I view it, and it tends to be plausible. So let's all come together more, and if we could take those different vibrations that we conjuring and put them all into one, imagine that big ball of energy that'd be created for many peoples that's there present to ride the spirit. Just imagine what it could do for them. They could take that individually and go create something bigger and better, serious peace. I know, that's what I'm saying, and it's unfortunate that folks is butting heads all the time. Like we just explained too, man. The three Abrahamic religions, man. What do we call them again? Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They're all based in the Torah. Okay, they're all based in the original books of the Torah, and yet they're still button heads. You know, I mean, all of the we just broke down the Christianity part again, man. We got all these different types of Christians. You know, why you got all these different types of Christians and y'all practice the same books? What's one of those Presbyterians, and there's another one, man, and the I think it's the I forgot what they call it, man, but they're the ones that only believe in like the angels or something like that, man. You know, I mean, you see, people are bound to take things, especially that somebody created, and put their own twist on it. That's why we always say, you know, keep really keep yourself open to soaking in all this different knowledge, because we have to remember that the basic instructions before leaving Earth have been passed through many hands, and we spoke about the Council of Nicaea right there. When it landed there, it became something even more powerful, because those particular players in the game all sat down at the table and said, "Look, if we're going to, you know, branch out into a Christian sect like this, then we have to do it in a particular manner to where we got control." Which is why only particular verses are ever read to you. You know, I always give enough respect to the brethren out there, man, who may be preaching, you know, all these different parts of the books. And he also wrote his words in our hearts. Yeah, man, it's This what I'm saying. Some of these things are so simple. You know, it should not take a scholar to come out and put people onto that thing. We just have to look inside. You know, somebody once told me this recently. They said, you know, when God was creating the the Holy Spirit or something like that, man. I'm giving you his version of it. When God was creating the Holy Spirit, man, you know, he was gonna hide it on land. But he couldn't hide it on land because man was gonna see it. He couldn't hide it in the water because man would have looked underwater and seen it. You know, so he decided to put it inside, because only fool excuse me um the people would never think to look inside, straight up. You know, people would never think to look inside, and look how that relates to society today, man. You know, everybody looks for a physical object to hold the spirit. Everybody looks, you know, in the deepest depths, you know, where's the spirit at? But to know that the God was created within you, the spirit is within you. It said, look, man, I don't remember the verse off the top of my head, but it say that, man. Like I said, I'm speaking on Christianity terms, because I know a lot of people overstand that, you know, and to shed light on it, to shed light on the mysteries of it, you know, to break free from the chains, the way that we've been indoctrinated into interpreting it, you know, to break free from that. It gives you such an empowering feeling and more of a closer relation to creation or the creator. You know what I'm saying? To dive deeper into these verses, into these books, there's so much more knowledge into those. And I think for us to, you know, let's jump out of reading Matthew and Luke, and you know what we may want to call, you know, reading reading about these books of the white man's. You know, let's start to look at all these other ones, man. The book of herbs, you know, Deuteronomy, you know, the book of the Watchers, you know. Why don't we talk about this stuff? Because they mention things like giants, and and they go against, you know, the common narrative. Let's keep these things in mind, y'all, because it becomes very powerful when we can open ourselves to this information right here, and we could allow ourselves to dive in there, man. At one point in time, a woman came up to me, man, and told me I was, you know, I was doing the work of the devil by talking about numerology and overstanding numerology and the correlation of these different Abrahamic religions and, you know, the world in general. He told me I was doing the work of the devil, you know, and that's because that knowledge is not put out there and is not taught. You know, I wish the preacher man would teach that to some folks. I wish the rabbi does teach that, you know. But Christianity, like I said, it's the worldly religion. It's the most prominent religion in the world, and that means it has the most control. So they're not gonna direct you to all of the knowledge to do for self. You know, this was put together in the Council of Nicaea to have control on you, to make you think that one way. You know, they never tell you to love God or love Jah. They tell you to fear God or fear Jah. Why do they always? When I was coming up as a youth, they was always promoting fear Him. You know, be careful of what you do, because you'll go to hell. You know, we're gonna send you down there. You're gonna get sent down there. Watch out, man. Here come the bull god. You know. I mean, I'm sure some of y'all can relate to that too. We was always told to fear. I was never told to love God like that. You know, love Jah. And since I've really opened myself up and started reading more, and being out in Mother Nature more to understand, it really makes me love and appreciate creation and the creator, man, and everything that was. I see the creator and everything I look at out here. I know it's kind of hypocritical for me saying that previously, that we don't have to look into a physical object to see the creator, but just think of Mother Nature, man. I mean, be out there. If you go out there, you understand what I'm talking about. Go out into the woods and just sit there for a while, breathe, get in tune with your thoughts, man. Get in tune with creation, meditate a little bit, you don't have to just sit, you don't have to just sit there and do your own chants like everybody else. You just gotta, yeah, you can see them in everything. You just got to go out there and sit down, ground yourself. I think I said this before too, man. Take your shoes off, take your socks off, go out there and overstand, because there's a much bigger thing that's going on in this world. A lot of things are organic going on, and there's a lot of inorganic things as well. We think of the inorganic as what's being going on with the music and the media, the entertainment, things being warped in order to hypnotize an audience. There's patents for these things. There's Google patents for for different frequency that's put in the television. You understand? So I mean, the stuff is it's out there for people to see in plain sight, man. But in an abundance of water, fools are thirsty, man. Could always put all the knowledge out here, but some people just will never get it. And even with that being, we still gonna live on, man. We still gonna forward we go, man. Forward we roll. You understand? Hey, man. But it's been a long week for myself, man. Been missing some sleep, and finally got the basement to myself this evening time, so I'm gonna get some serious hours of meditation down here. Finish drinking up my tea, man. Maybe do some more reading into these books over here. Write some music. And it's gonna be a very fruitful evening for myself, and a very relaxing one at that. Not gonna press myself too hard. I always gotta find that one day out the week, if you can too. Find that one day out the week to find some little R&R time, some rest and relaxation, that me time. Get away from the phone for a while. Let the phone go. Let the people call. If they call and you don't answer, so be it, man. Let them be mad that you don't want to mess with technology and you want to spend that time to get yourself better, heal up. You understand? Hey, man. But always, like I said, this is a little show tonight, just to put some fat on your head. It's kind of all over the place here, but nonetheless, just want to put some fat on your head and open our minds up to think a little bit more. I'm never gonna tell you. I shouldn't say that, because I probably will tell you a few things, but I'm not gonna tell you how to think, or what to think. But I will present the knowledge for you there, and even give those little keys to jog our minds. It could be preaching to the choir a lot of times, but you know how we got to do it, brethren. We always got to put it one time in the rhyme. You see what I'm saying? Serious piece right here. RockTrue Beatz. Hey, man, Chris Lyon. Catch y'all next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Hey, man, watch out. We're getting deep into the fall time, man. Catch y'all next week. Peace.